I just don't think you got what it takes, bro.
See, making music ain't for everybody.
Stop trying to do everything, because then you're gonna get stuff that ends up sounding like
This
this.
is what it means to live in purpose. Yeah. If you ain't know, and all it ever took me was some focus. Yeah. If you ain't know, he told me spit the word without a pulpit. Yeah. If you ain't know, so I ain't letting go of my anointment. Yeah. If you ain't know, you already know what time it never is. Let go. I'm serving scriptures to the bodies that be lost in the street. Man, I ain't letting go of nothing. This the gospel to me. I'm never quitting, man. I'm right where I'm supposed to be. I'm focused on my mission like I'm Moses walking straight through the sea. I got a pocket full of pennies cause my soul changed. Even that my Lord's never joined the dope game. Now I'm getting real comfy. Let the coat hang. You know I'm in the building, man. I'm about to blow like propane. If all this rap is an issue, then you could grab a tissue. I'm saving lives with these verses, man. I won't even diss you. You got some hate on your spirit, man. It don't even fit you. You better step out my presence or else my God will fix you. Just know I'm living in purpose to every single daughter. I ain't gonna wait till you give it, man. I'ma take my flowers. Don't need no trophies or glory because he gave me power. I'll just keep repping the kingdom until the final hour. Purpose. Yeah. If you ain't know, and all it ever took me was some focus. Yeah. If you ain't know, he told me spit the word without a pulpit. Yeah. If you ain't know, so I ain't letting go of my anointment. Yeah. If you ain't know, never let go.
My purpose, man, it's locked down. Can't take it from me, no, not now. Ain't no way I'ma walk out. I'm fighting on for my God's crown. Got a problem with it, that's on you. Get behind me, Satan, watch God do everything that he said he would, and that's all faith, yeah, understood. Yeah, got a calling, we're showing up. Evil spirit need to step down, otherwise I'll be pulling up. Aftermath, y'all see the blood dripping down, got no love for the enemy. Holy, you better be telling my old self that he's dead to me. See these orders coming in, telling me to go spread the message. You can't tie me down, check it, we moving to the objective. With anointed sound, getting prophetic, y'all can't reject it. But with God, we make a move strictly because he said it. Woo. Ignore all the people that don't wanna see you do it for the kingdom. Glory be given to God, we don't deserve it. When the yang comes, he's putting his heel right on the back of the neck, killing a serpent. The battle is already won, so
this is what it means to live in purpose. Yeah. If you ain't know, and all it ever took me was some focus. Yeah. If you ain't know, he told me spit the word without a pulpit. Yeah. If you ain't know, so I ain't letting go of my anointment. Yeah. If you ain't know, never let go. See, we only living in the purpose that God put us in, you feel me? Never let go. So never mind who you thought we were. Never let go. I know you feel like you the gatekeeper and everything. Never let go. But it ain't up to you. Yeah. You already know what time it is. Yeah. 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 I'm feeling like David. Yeah. Feeling like David. Yeah. Can't nobody slay me. Yeah. You can't slay me. I feel like Moses. Yeah. Big like Moses. Yeah. Can't nobody hold me. Yeah. Can't nobody. Yeah. I feel like Daniel. Yeah. And what I'm daddy. Yeah. Can't nobody face me. Yeah. You can't face me. I feel like Joseph. Yeah. Big Joseph. Yeah. Can't nobody break me. Yeah. Can't nobody break me. Listen. Why these haters tweaking? Acting like I don't need it. All of my pockets bleeding. All of my sneakers speaking. Never had a pot to piss in.
Never. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy WesTheTech. Let me turn down the music. You know we're not going to turn it off, but we definitely got to turn it down. How's everybody doing today? You guys know what time it is. This is Tuesday Q&As from noon to 1 p.m. Thank you, everybody, for joining in. Thank you, everybody, for being here today. I hope that I'm going to be able to answer all you guys' music industry tip questions today. I see Cod Lyric. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. All right, you say love this song. I appreciate that so much. This song has actually been very uplifting to myself and a whole lot of other people, so I'm truly thankful for it. It's actually my biggest song right now, and I just praise God everything that he's been able to do in my music ministry, as well as just me here helping you guys with your music industry tips, helping you guys grow with your music careers as well. So I'm thankful for you guys to be here. Hi, bless. Thank you so much. I believe this is my first time seeing your name here, Akkad. So if you don't mind, let me know where you're actually watching from. All right, if you want to share any of your links, and if you have any music industry tip questions, just go ahead and start filling the chat room with it, because like I said, I'm going to be here for an hour, and my objective and my goal within the hours that I do this is to answer every single music industry tip questions that I see in the chat there. Brian, what's going on? Good to see you again, Brian. We got a chat, Brian. We got to chat. I know you've won twice already. I don't think I know you got the book, but we haven't continued our conversation for the second gift. So make sure you reach out to me after this live so we can set that up and you can figure out what we want to do. Duval, what's up? What's up, Duval? I hope is that Duval, Florida? Or Duval County in Florida, or is that Duval, Texas? Which Duval? Because I'm actually in South Florida myself. I'm in Hollywood, Florida. You know what I mean? So big shout out to Akkad joining us from Duval. Brian, what's going on? All right, now, of course, let me get the particulars out the way as people are, of course, joining into the live. Again, my name is WesTheTech. I'm a music business coach. I help artists grow in their music career, grow in their craft. But I'm also an artist myself. As an artist, I go by the name of Connect. I'm a Christian hip hop artist. So I just love glorifying God through my music. You know what I'm saying? So I do that as well. The great thing about me is a lot of the coaching that I do when it comes to the music industry is from experience, right? It's things that have worked for me, and I know that they work because I've tried it myself. So I'm not just giving you information that I'm reading off of Google or information that somebody just told me. These are information that I have collected over the years as a recording artist. I've been a recording artist for quite some time now. So I'm just sharing everything that I possibly can with you guys because, of course, the record labels and stuff like that, they don't want to share that information, especially to us independent artists out there, because if they did, what would be the reason to even sign with the record label? You get what I'm saying? So I'm just here to promote independent artists and help you guys grow. Now, of course, I have my Tuesday Q&As, which is what we're doing now. And I have my Thursday tech tips. Every week I drop a new video, just a new music industry tip for you guys to see. I'm sure a lot of you guys have actually found my page through one of my tip videos, because that's typically how people find my page. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Make sure that you follow my YouTube page. If you want, you can follow me on IG as well. But that way you can stay up to date to all the information that's present when it comes to the music industry tips, all right? At Miss Haiti joining in on IG. I see you. Thank you. Thank you for joining in, for sure. If you have any music industry tip questions, just go ahead and write it in the chat in IG if you like. Or if you want, you could join us on YouTube so you could actually see everything that we're going through when I do answer your question, all right? Now, the last particular that I want to get out the way is, of course, my membership club here, guys. With this membership club, you get access to priority replies to comments, members only exclusive videos, free monthly music business coaching sessions as well. All of those great things. All you got to do is hit the join button right there, and you could take a look at that stuff for yourself. Of course, it's optional. You don't have to do it, but if you wanted to join the club, you can absolutely do that, all right? And, of course, best question that's asked today. Brian already knows this because Brian has won before, but any one of you guys, whoever asks me the best question today will get a free gift on me, all right? And I will reveal who the winner is, pick the winner, reveal the winner at the end of the live, and I'll let you know what that free gift will be at the end of the live, all right? But thank you guys for all joining in. Pretty Girl Progression, Little Haiti in the building. Appreciate you for joining in as well. Good to see you returning as well, all right? And And Akash said, yes, that's how I found you. Oh, on the YouTube. Awesome, awesome. Jacksonville, Florida. Yes, so we're definitely in the same state. We're just not in the same county. So I'm a little further south than you, but Jacksonville is a beautiful place. I love Jacksonville. My brother actually is very, very close to Jacksonville. But yes. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna jump into this here. Start answering whatever questions you guys may have. At Miss Haiti said on IG, you're welcome and thanks for having me. Of course. Thank you again for joining in. Just ask whatever questions you guys may have. Of course, I have questions that I have built up that I have seen in the comment section that I also want to go over as well. So I'm just trying to get as many questions answered as I possibly can. LD40 in the building. Thank you for joining in. Good seeing you again. What up, Wes? And in the chat, I see you in the building. Thank you guys for joining in and coming back from week to week to get your questions answered. All right. So the first one we're going to start off with today, all right, as you guys are collecting your thoughts and getting your questions ready, all right, I had a question here. Again, for those of you who are on IG, you won't be able to see this, but if you want to see it, head over to my YouTube. The link is in my story, and the link is in the bio as well. So at Miss Haiti, if you don't mind, you head over to YouTube so you can actually see everything that's going on the screen here, all right? But this question was on the video, how to register your song with ASCAP, all right? And the question was from, let's see, CTM. I'm sorry, CTM. Let me make sure I keep note of this. CTM130, all right? And the question was, would the recording artist name be the band name? I am a writer, composer, singer, producer of the song, but I'm using a band name. Should I use my name as the recording artist instead of the band name? All right. Now, this is a good question because this happens a lot, especially when you're registering your music through either ASCAP, BMI, or CSAC. Now, if you don't know what those are in fact performing rights organization. Now, if you've never heard of a performing rights organization, I strongly urge you to find out more about it. As a matter of fact, just so I don't forget, let me go ahead and share a video with you, because one of my videos I actually explain performing rights organizations. Do you actually need them and why they are important, right? Of course, we do need them, or else I wouldn't make a video on them. But if you want to know more about it, for those of you who are watching that don't know anything about PROs, definitely check out this video when you get a chance. Also, for those who are rewatching this video later, click on that link, watch that video. And in that video, I talk all about performing rights organizations. But his question was for ASCAP specifically. And the question was, when he actually puts his name, does he put his government name or does he put his band name as the recording artist? All right. Now, typically ASCAP and BMI, they will tell you exactly what they're asking, whether they are asking you for your actual name or they're asking you for your recording artist name. Now, if they're not asking you that, then that means they are asking for your government name. Why? Because ASCAP and BMI actually pays out money to you directly. Obviously, anyone who pays you money has to report that to the tax bureau, right? We live in America. We have to pay taxes on everything. When you sign up for ASCAP or BMI, you're going to have to fill out a form, obviously your tax form for it, and for all the other places that you actually collect royalties from, because if they're going to be paying you out something, you know, that obviously has to be taxed, right? So you need to use your government name. Your government name is what ties you to your music. Your government name is the name that's going to be on the check that they're going to send you, right? If you want them to transfer wire transfer it to your bank account, the name that you put there has to be the same name that's registered to the bank account. So you want to make sure that you're putting your government name, all right? Now, in some cases, ASCAP or BMI will also ask you if it's if you're part of a label or if you're a part of a company. You can also put that information as well, but you want to make sure that you put your primary, your government name in there, because again, they're going to be paying you out directly. They're not going to put your artist name on the check. You get what I'm saying, guys? But that was a great question by CTM130, and of course, I'll make sure I share the link to this video to him so that he could watch the video and see his question being answered. All right, guys. And again, for those of you who are watching, in the chat, I see you, Kai. Great question. Definitely was a great question. If you guys have any questions yourself, feel free to just put them in the chat of IG or YouTube, and I'll answer your questions for you live right here today on this live. All right. But in the meantime, while you guys are collecting your thoughts, let's move on to the next question that I have collected. All right. So the next question was from Eugene Burns. All right. So Eugene Burns, the question was left on the video of should you still sell CDs as an independent artist? Guys, believe it or not, some people are very, very adamant and very, very serious about this one right here. They still love to argue with me when it comes to selling CDs as an independent artist. And, it's an interesting conversation because I understand the value of selling CDs versus streaming. It is a real thing, and you obviously do get paid a lot faster with it, but we got to understand that CDs are in fact phasing out of reality. As sad as it is to say, it is the truth. There was a time that vinyl records was all over the place, right? But guess what? It ended up getting phased out, and then we had 8-tracks. We had cassette tapes, right? Then that ended up getting phased out, and then we had CD players. Well, now CD players are getting phased out by streaming services. It's just the reality of the direction we're going. Most newer cars don't even have CD trays anymore. Most computers and laptops you buy nowadays don't have CD trays anymore. It's just the reality of the direction that we're going with technology. So I don't think that CDs is a good selling point anymore. I mean, I'm gonna be real with you guys. Check this out. I made CDs for my first album, right? I can't give these away at this point. I have probably like 100 left of these. You get what I'm saying? People who get this from me, they just get it to support me, but they still listen to my music on streaming. They are not popping this into any CD tray and listening to my album when they could just go on Spotify, YouTube, or Apple Music and just listen to it. It's just a reality. I can't give these away anymore. You get what I'm saying? But like I said, people still support, which is a great thing. But the reality is CDs aren't here. I mean, when was the last time you seen a CD tray in a vehicle? You get what I'm saying? When was the last time you seen just a CD tray on a MacBook? It doesn't have it, right? Even Windows computers now don't have CD trays, which is crazy to me. People use tablets, they use smartphones, they use all of these things. Tablets don't have CD trays, and neither do smartphones, obviously. But that's just the reality. But let's see what his actual question is. The question is, hey, thanks for the video. Just wondering if you want airplay, what format are radio stations taking these days? Do you need CDs, or will they accept you sending them a file? Thanks again. Keep up the great work. All right, so this is a great question. I wish he would ask this question on a different video, but I guess he had an interest in the video. All right, but when it comes to the format that most radio stations are asking when you're streaming the music, is definitely going to be a file. Now, most of them ask for the MP3, but some of them will ask for the WAV. All right, now the WAV file, if you don't know the difference between a WAV file and an MP3 file, think of okay, take a burger, right? A burger with everything on it, and it's like stacked up this high, right? That's what a WAV file is, right? Basically, your song is like a big burger. What MP3 is the compressed version of the WAV file. So MP3 is much more compressed. Now, listening to it, it's going to sound the same, but where the difference is when the radio station wants to make adjustments or mix it or use it on the DJ board and everything like that. You're able to do more with a WAV file than you could do with a compressed MP3 file. Like I said, with the burger, if it's compressed and you want to remove the tomatoes, you're going to have to open it up and you might damage some of the other stuff. But if everything's stacked up, you can literally just lift the bun, take the pickles out, and put the bun back, because everything's not smushed together. You get what I'm saying? So that really is the difference between WAV and MP3. But some radio stations do require you to send them the WAV file, because again, they have DJs that's going to be mixing it live and things like that, so they want to have that capability. So when anytime you're sending it to a radio station or anything like that, if they don't ask you specifically, always send both. Send the MP3 and send the WAV file, just so you don't have to continue to go back and forth with them as far as what they need, right? What I do is, when I send an email to a radio station, I immediately, in that same email that I'm introducing myself, I'm letting them know my new release and everything like that. In that same email, I'm providing them my link to my Spotify link to the song, my Apple Music link to the song, as well as the MP3 and the WAV file of the song. That way, if they like it and approve it, they don't have to email me back and like, hey, can you send us this? Can you already send everything with the initial email, right? You want to try to get the process done as fast as possible. So, let's be honest, radio station hosts and stuff, they're human as well. They could forget, they might, or you might forget to check your email and realize that they responded back and they're asking for more information and all of those different things. So just make sure that you're sending everything out all at once, right away, but make sure you have that WAV file and the MP3 file. And just so I can remember here, I might have already did a video about WAVs and MP3s. Let me see. If I did, it would have been long ago. Okay, I haven't. The difference between WAV and MP3, I haven't. So let me make a notation of that, guys, because that is a video I can definitely do. Difference between WAV and MP3. All right, and I see you guys are putting some questions on the chat here, so that's great. I'm gonna get to those really quickly. WAV and MP3 difference. Nice. See, that's a video I could do right there, and that's why I love doing this. That's why I love collecting information and chatting with you guys, because you guys, give me an opportunity to find out more questions and things like that, right? All right, so now we're gonna go to the chat here, because I see Brian has a question. LD40 also has a question as well. So let's get to it, guys. Okay, so starting with Brian's question here. Brian's question is, when filling out the metadata for a song, what line does the publishing company go, and which does the copyright holder or writer go on? All right, so this is a great question. All right, and it's by Brian. As far as the metadata, now, Brian, before I answer that question, where are you trying to fill out the metadata? Are you trying to fill it out for SoundCloud or something similar to that? Because it depends on where you're trying to register your song. All right. Now, for those of you who don't know what the metadata is essentially the data that is connected to the song. All right. Now, when I say data, I'm literally talking about like literally all the information incorporated with it. All right. So I'll show you something right here on SoundCloud, because I guess SoundCloud has the best example of it. I think Brian is referring to SoundCloud, but I don't want to assume, because there are a couple other places that ask for metadata too. But according to my memory, the one that I always think of when I hear metadata is SoundCloud. All right. But let's say right here, right? I'm on SoundCloud right now, and then let me show you guys here on the screen. I won't forget Gorman. What's going on? Big shout out to Gorman. I see you joining in again. Good to see you again, brother. I'm definitely going to get to your question as well, all right? But when you're uploading a song on SoundCloud, right, let's just say, or let me go to a song that I already have uploaded, right, because maybe that'll be easier. Let's go to my tracks. Boom, boom, boom. For something similar to SoundCloud. I see you, Brian. Something similar to SoundCloud. All right. So I'll answer that by showing you this, right? So here's one of my songs that's on SoundCloud. As you can see, all my tracks are private. The reason that these tracks are private is because when I send them out to, I only use SoundCloud to send out to certain websites that is requiring specifically a SoundCloud link. Sometimes not radio stations, but certain blog sites will only use SoundCloud. So I upload my song to SoundCloud, keep it private just so that I can send it out to them. All right. But to go to this here, we're going to go to edit, and then we're going to go see metadata. This is exactly what we're talking about here. Now, here is the metadata for the song, right? All of this information is what they're going to ask for. They're going to ask for the ISRC code, right? They're going to ask for the ISWC code. They're going to ask for the P line. The P line is the publisher line, all right? So, Brian, this is where you actually put the publishing company information right under the P line. You see how it says 2000 XYZ Record Company Limited? That's where the publisher line will be. And they'll even tell you, they'll tell you right here what each means. I know SoundCloud does. I don't know about the one that you're referring to in particular, but this is where you will put that. Obviously, record label would go here, right? Album title and all of those different things. But you want to look for P line or something similar to P line, and that's where the publisher information goes. If you don't see anything on publisher, that's where it will actually be. All right, guys. But here's the thing about the metadata, right? When it comes to your metadata, streaming service automatically put all that metadata in there when you're registering, or not streaming companies, but music distribution companies, right? So DistroKid, Symphonic, TuneCore, all of those different things. When you're filling out their information, all the information on the song, they're automatically putting that metadata in for Spotify. They're automatically putting it in for Apple Music and all of those different things. So if you're wondering, like, oh man, I never put in my metadata for my songs that I released on DistroKid, for example, you don't have to, because DistroKid will automatically do that for you. The only times that you would actually have to fill it out is when you're registering to a place like SoundCloud that you can't regularly distribute through using Symphonic or DistroKid or something like that, right? But yeah, that's where it would be to answer your question, Brian. If you can't find it, let me know, all right? And also let me know where you're trying to submit it to. That way I can maybe better help you with that. But Brian, that's a great question. Love that question. And like I said, this is why we do what we do, right? This is why I do these Tuesday live Q&As, because we get a chance to chat, communicate, and get questions answered, all right? So Brian said also record label. Yeah, as it showed, there was a spot that you actually put in your record label as well. All right, so there should be a place that they ask you for both of those things. If you don't see it on one particular page, it might be on the next page over. That's a possibility as well. All right. As far as you guys who are joining in on IG, thank you all for joining in. Thank you all for checking me out here. Of course, we're doing these live Q&As on YouTube. If you want to stay on IG, that's perfectly fine. I don't mind. You get what I'm saying? Either way, I'll answer a question, even if it's on IG. But for a better experience, check me out on YouTube. That way, whatever question you ask me, I can literally just look it up here and show you live on the screen. All right. Now, Akash said, true, my vehicle doesn't have a CD tray. See, most new vehicles don't. So CDs is phasing out, unfortunately. Even though I miss putting in that CD tray and hearing it spin, I miss that. I still miss that, but it's the reality of where we are, right? Now, LD40 has a question here, so we'll get to his next. Fitness Fakir, I see you joining in. Thank you for joining in again, brother. JSF Empowers, thank you for joining in as well. All right, we got a packed house tonight. This is dope. Or today, right? So LD40's question is on the topic on artist name versus label name. Okay, we're going back to that. Last week you talked about Google registering your artist name. Can you register artists and label names on Google? Ooh, okay. That's a great question. That's a great question. Yes, you could register them, but here's the thing. A lot of the things with Google is you have to register in other places so that Google can finally actually acknowledge you, right? So what Google pretty much does is it collects information. And when it collects the information, once it collects enough of the information, that's when you will start showing up on Google, right? So, for example, I'm at a point right now that you can actually Google me, right? If you were to go to google.com right now, you could actually Google WesTheTech, and my stuff will come up, right? My business will come up, my website will come up, my YouTube, my IG, all of this stuff will come up, right? My Yelp will come up, all of those different things. But the only reason this is coming up because I'm registered with all of these different places, right? If you were to Google my artist name, that comes up as well, right? Look, right? You're only seeing this because obviously I'm logged into Google. Oh, you don't see none of this. My fault. Now you guys see it. All right. So I'll go back to WesTheTech, right? WesTheTech. If you Google WesTheTech, all my information comes up, right? My studio, right? This is just because I'm logged in to myself. That's the only reason you see this here, right? But look, my website, my YouTube, my IG, everything about WesTheTech is up. Look, all the pictures, everything's here, right? If I Google my artist name, Connect, right? Same thing's gonna happen. Again, this panel is only here because I'm logged in right now. But look, my website, my knowledge panel, right? Look, musical artists. Look, all the different places that you can listen to my music, my most recent releases, my most recent album. It even shows where my official artist website is, on my profiles, all of those different things. My music videos are coming up. You get all of these different things are coming up, right? Holy culture, all of these different things, they're coming up. But the only reason they're coming up is because, again, I'm on all of these different websites. And that's what Google does. What don't you see? You don't see pictures of me, right? If I were to put in Lecrae, for example, right? You see this whole thing. His looks different from mine. He still has this over here. I have this part. Right? I have all of this stuff down here, the song. I just don't have this panel yet, right? Why? Because I don't have enough pictures circulating the internet right now. Once I get enough pictures circulating the internet, I will then have this panel and have these different things. That's the thing that I'm missing, right? But that is basically how Google collects the information. And the more information it collects is the more that you'll actually look more viable and look more real, at least on YouTube. You get what I'm saying? But it takes time. Now, if you don't even have this yet, this to the left that I have, then that means you probably haven't claimed your Google panel yet. All right. Now, in order to claim your Google panel, there are some things that you have to do. I do have a video on how to do that. All right. Google panel. This is a very, very important video that you guys need to watch if you haven't watched it already. How to claim your Google Knowledge panel. All right. I'm going to share this with you guys because, again, this is a very, very important video. You want to claim your Google panel as an artist because you won't even get to the point that mine is if you don't claim your own panel. Because once you claim your own panel, that's when Google says, okay, you are a real person. Let me start collecting information on you. But you have to claim your panel first. The link that I just sent you is the link on how to claim your actual panel on Google. For those of you who are watching now and for those who will be rewatching, make sure you watch that video and make sure you do that. Lord have mercy. This has 16K views. I didn't even realize it had that many views. But clearly a lot of people are trying to be able to find themselves on Google as well. If you haven't seen that video, make sure you watch that video, all right? Because it's a very, very important video to have. It's the one thing that you really need to do to start legitimizing yourself on Google. Without doing this, you'll never be able to have yourself come up on Google like this. It won't come up like this, right? I'm almost there, guys. I'm almost there. All I need is the pictures. I got the music. I got all of that stuff. Look, I'm on Genius. I got all of that stuff. I just need the pictures. I got like maybe 8 pictures total out there, right? I mean, when you go to images, some of my pictures come up. This one, that one. I got a couple, but I need to take more pictures. I know I haven't been. But again, once you do more shows, once you do more press conferences and press releases and all of those different things, the more and more you do, the more and more Google will collect information on you. And then it'll just eventually show up there. They'll never like put it in a way like, oh, send you a notice or nothing. Nah, it'll just show up there one day. You get what I'm saying? And that's just how it works. But great question. Gorman, I'm sorry, LD40, great question on that. Continuing the conversation of artist name versus label names. All right. And the same thing for the label name, right? The more information you have scouring the internet when it comes to label names is the more legitimate that it'll show up. All right. Now, I do have a question on IG here. I'm noticing by, I want to say Shala. I don't know if I'm saying it right. I know, in Japan, the X is pronounced as the C. I don't know, but he has a question as well, so I'm gonna answer this. What is this? Okay, so he has a question. His question is, what would you prefer, hardware or software? Example, would you prefer a physical preamp and compressor over a software preamp or compressor? And it's Selah. All right, Selah. All right. I knew the X is pronounced different in other places, but okay. So the question was from Selah, and it's a great question. So his question is in regards to, obviously, when it comes to engineering, mixing, and mastering and stuff like that. He's asking me, is it better to have physical preamps and compressors, or is software compressors and stuff is better? Well, honestly, we've gotten to a point in software and developing and engineering and all of that stuff that you almost won't be able. We're to a point now that you could barely tell the difference between the two, right? The software has gotten so good and so precise to the physical stuff. I personally don't think that you need physical anymore. I think that you could just use software, right? Because the software, they literally design certain softwares to sound exactly like the physical preamps and exactly like the physical compressors, all right? Plus, let's say you just have a laptop, or you just have a home computer, right? Having that rack, that physical rack with all of those different big old machines and physical compressors and all of that stuff, we don't need that stuff no more. You get what I'm saying? I'm in my studio right now. I have one physical thing, two. My mixing board, which is right here, and I also have one compressor over here, but I don't even use it no more. I'm just being honest with you. I just use the mixing board because I still like using the dials and stuff, right? But even the mixing board can be done all virtually now on software. So I don't think it's absolutely necessary to have physical. All right. If you feel that you want to have physical, that's cool, but you don't absolutely need it to mix and master and to do all of those things on a high level. But that was a great question by Selah. Selah, if you want, join in with us on YouTube. All right, because on YouTube, if you have a question that I need to look up, like let's say you got a question on BMI and I need to look it up and show you, I'll be able to show you better on YouTube than IG. If you can hang out on IG if you want, but if you want a better experience with this live, head over to my YouTube. The link is in my story, also in my bio as well. But that was an absolutely great question, guys. All right. Now, we're just going to keep moving here. We're going to keep moving. We're on a roll. Let me try to get through all of them. You're going over there now. All right. Say less. See you there. Say less, Salah. See you there. All right, for sure. All right, next question is by Gorman. All right, I always love when Gorman joins in. I always think of Hustle and Flow every time I see his name. Terrence Howard, and man, I can't get over it. It's gonna be a running joke forever, Gorman. I'm telling you, I'm gonna do it every time. But hey again, Wes. Another question for you. Any tips on going about content? I've heard being authentic in TikToks and social media, but do you have any tips on good engagement? Okay, that's a good question. That's a very good question. Authenticity is always key to actually growing a genuine fan base. All right, you'll be surprised how quickly your following can grow by just being real. You know what I'm saying? Like by talking about the struggles or talking about the things that you go through as an artist, right? Or how revealing you are when it comes to your writing process, for example, or your recording process. Sharing those things are really good to help people start following your journey, so to speak, right? We live in a day and age now that even the big time artists, they make videos of them in the studio. They make videos of them recording, right? They even show you snippets of something that they just recorded. I mean, we're talking about big time artists. They are still doing stuff like that, right? Nothing's hidden anymore. It's almost like you people want to see the behind the scenes more than they want to hear the song itself, right? And there's no greater promoting than when people can actually connect to you on a personal level, so to speak, right? Because you're sharing those intimate moments with them. You in the booth, or you writing, perhaps you recording an actual track, you videotaping yourself listening to the recordings. All of those things are great, and all of those things definitely help build a following, right? But that's something I would definitely say. Definitely being authentic is a no-brainer. You definitely want to do that, but also, just be yourself and try different types of content. You definitely don't want to do something that, it's like, I've seen certain content when it's like, okay, you're trying too hard. You get what I'm saying? And it almost comes off cheesy, or almost comes off corny, because it's like, okay, I see what you're trying to do, but you didn't have to do all of that. You probably did it because you saw somebody else do it. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't fit you. You could tell it don't fit you because you look weird in the video trying to do it. You get what I'm saying? Don't even do that. Just do things that's more unique to you. Whatever you are, just reveal that to the world. And your following is going to be your following. People who gravitate to you will gravitate to you, regardless what type of genre of music you make, or regardless of whatever. You get what I'm saying? Like me, myself, I'm from the hood, but I'm very techie. I'm very nerdy. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's a weird balance, right? If you hear me, it sounds like I should be on the Big Bang Theory, right? Because I know I'm just so nerdy and all of that stuff. But I'm from the gutter, like a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? So I don't try to pretend like I'm hood. I don't try to pretend like I'm this. I am who I am. You know what I'm saying? Everything I'm not is everything I am. You get what I'm saying? So be yourself for sure. And we've spoken before, Gorman, and you're definitely a dope person. You get what I'm saying? So just be yourself and keep staying consistent. That's the biggest key that I could give to you and everybody else that's watching. Stay consistent. Stay dropping. Continue to create music. Continue to promote yourself. Don't stop doing it. Don't let social media discourage you. I know a lot of times when we don't get the amount of likes or comments, we tend to just fall back and not post as much. You get what I'm saying? But you'll never beat the algorithm that way. You just got to keep, if you only get one like or one comment, it don't matter. Keep posting, keep going, because eventually the right people will see it. Eventually the right people will share it, right? The last thing I'll say on that, there was a point that I was, I still do, but when I release a video, like a reel, right, I posted across all my platforms. And, I posted on IG, I posted on YouTube, I posted on TikTok, and I posted on Facebook, right? It got to a point that I was like, you know what? I'm going to stop posting on Facebook because I'm not getting no engagement. I'm getting like 2 or 3 likes at the most, right? 20 views. I'm really not getting any engagement at all on Facebook. So it got to a point that I was like, you know what? I'm about to just abandon Facebook and just do the others because I'm seeing a following on there, right? Up until I posted this one reel. And I ended up posting this one reel, and somehow this reel just was really fun and people really enjoyed watching it. On IG, it got like 5,000 views. I was like, wow, that's incredible. Then I looked on TikTok, it was like 1,000, right? Then I looked on YouTube, it was at 10,000. I was going crazy. I was like, oh my gosh, 10,000. That's the most views I ever got on a single reel. Then I went to Facebook. And it was almost at 1 million. And I almost lost my mind. And 3 days later, it was well over 4 million. And that same clip that I posted in those other places, it went viral on Facebook, right? So obviously there's 2 lessons to that. The first lesson is post everywhere, because you never know where it's going to hit, right? Post every social media platform you have, post the same content on all of them. every time you post, because you never know who will share it and where it will reach, right? But the second thing that I learned from that, and the most important thing, is to stay consistent, right? Because if I let those 2 likes stop me from posting that video on Facebook, I would have never went viral on Facebook for that particular reel. You get what I'm saying? So consistency is the key. I know it's hard sometimes, guys, especially, it's hard to stay motivated when you don't see enough likes, comments, and stuff like that. But keep going, keep doing it. Remember, guys, we're artists. We're here to make music. We're not really here to have a social media presence like that. We want to, and it obviously will help our music career, but just think of it as a necessary thing that we have to do in order to promote ourselves. You get what I'm saying? But stay consistent no matter what. So that'll be the greatest tip that I would give to anybody who's really trying to build a following on social media platforms. Post everywhere and stay consistent, for sure. All right, now thank you all for joining in. JX, I see you. Salah, all right, I see you joining in. DYP, thank you for joining in, brother. Good seeing you. I see you there as well. I love it. Everyone's joining in. Questions are being asked. All right, it's a good live. Very, very good live. And even the lives, guys. Sometimes I do the lives and like at 10 minutes in, I got like 1 or 2 people here, but I still answer the questions. I still go through it because it's about staying consistent, and you never know who you're going to help, right? So we just got to stay consistent, right? All right, so Fakir Fitness said, nice, thanks for sharing how to fill out the publishing information. For sure. And Brian Wheatley said also had it on Sound Exchange. Yes, that information is on Sound Exchange, and Sound Exchange does ask, it says P-Line and it says record label. It should say just like that when you're registering on Sound Exchange. I know that for a fact, but yeah, you'll definitely see it on there. Let's see what else we got here. Fitness Fakir said, it feel like it's safer not having your face plastered all over the internet, incognito. That is true. I ain't gonna front. That is true. But as an artist, I feel like I have to. I ain't gonna front. I need it. I want it. Like when you look up an artist and his face shows up, that's so dope to me. Like, let's go back to that. Like, I think there's nothing greater in the world than just being like Andy. Yo, I don't know who Andy Mineo is. Who is Andy Mineo? And then you Google Andy Mineo, and then boom. Like, as an artist, that's almost as big as an award. You get what I'm saying? That's so dope to me. I gotta have it. I just gotta have it. This is like, honestly, guys, it's crazy. As crazy as it sounds, this would be more fulfilling to me than any Grammy or anything like that. This right here is just like, bro, you Googled me and I came up as an American hip hop artist. Like, just the picture alone, I gotta have it. I just gotta have it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not there yet, but I gotta have. I know what you're saying, being incognito, but I'm ready for the smoke at all times. You know what I'm saying? But here, I just need the pictures. Once I get this picture right here, I got the panel over here. I just need that picture. It's coming. It's coming, Lord. In Jesus' holy name, it's coming. It's definitely coming. But I feel you on that, Diddy. I definitely feel you on that. All right, so Salah, welcome joining in for sure. All right, so Fitness Fakir says, what software do you use and how comfortable are you with digital audio workstation DAWs? All right, so the main DAWs that I use for recording is Pro Tools. Pro Tools is the industry standard. Pro Tools, it's funny because my mentor, and this is how you know you're living in purpose, right? Because my mentor, when I'd never had any interest in actually doing music until I met my mentor. One day, my mentor, was going to do a recording session, right? And my mentor was like, hey, do you want to listen in or do you want to check me out, right? So I was like, all right, sure, why not? I mean, I know I like computers, right? My mentor wants to do a recording session, and he was just like, hey, do you want to come in? I'm just like, all right, cool. I'll come in. That's no problem. All right, so I'm watching him like actually record a person live, right? And I'm watching him record this person, and I'm just like, wow, look at the audio files, like it's waves and stuff. It was the most interesting thing to me at the time. But what I didn't realize is that I was starting my purpose. I was starting my journey in music. I didn't even realize it, but Pro Tools is what he was using. So the Pro Tools is the first thing that I learned. I didn't realize how big of a blessing that was until until recently because Pro Tools is the industry standard. That's what all the big record labels and stuff are using when they're recording music. So my first experience with DAWs is the most professional version of it. Now I know it like the back of my hand because it's the only thing that I learned, right? So I would always recommend, if you want to start engineering and you want to start learning how to record yourself, use Pro Tools. If you learn how to use Pro Tools, you can use any other DAW. There isn't a DAW that I don't know how to use because I've already learned how to use the hardest one. You get what I'm saying? But Pro Tools is the one I'm most comfortable with. Pro Tools is the one I will always recommend. Logic Pro X is awesome. I use that one for making beats. But when it comes to recording, I don't think there's any other DAW that can compete with Pro Tools, all right? So Pro Tools is definitely the way to go. Now, Selassie, can I download my Logic Pro X on my Windows? No, you actually cannot. Logic Pro X is an Apple exclusive application. Pro Tools, you could use both, but Logic is specifically through Apple, through Mac. All right, so if you wanted Logic Pro X on Windows, you won't be able to do it. But again, Pro Tools you can use. Man, there's some stuff I could show you guys on Pro Tools right now that will blow your mind that I know no other place does. But I'm gonna spare you guys this time. But I'll do it next time. I will. All right. DYP just tapping in with you, brother. Appreciate the knowledge for sure. Guys, that's the staff. What's going on? Thank you for joining in. Steph is in here. She's watching as well. She got some questions as well. This is great. Love you guys. All right. Brian Wheatley said yes. For sure. Chihuahs, I see your comment there too. Thank you for joining in. Guys, I got a song with Chihuahs. Man, Chihuahs did some work on, man. Wait till y'all. I'm not going to spoil it yet. You get what I'm saying? I'm not going to leak the information, but just know me and Chihuah's got a collaboration coming, and I can't wait for you guys to hear it for sure. All right, so Stephanie's question is, what if I want to delete my whole YouTube channel out of frustration? You know the great thing about deleting your YouTube channel? You got to go through a process. And you know, I thank YouTube for that so much because you got to click on at least 5 or 6 different things. What I would say is, before you click on the next thing, pray. Take a moment and just really think about it. And, you know, just take it by step, a step at a time. You know, you do the first one, you click on the first one, now I'm deleting it. Take a moment, pray. Once you're done, if you want to continue, go ahead and press the next one. But you're going to have to get through at least 6 or 7 prayers before you hit that delete forever button. I know it because I've been there. Right? And I thank God that YouTube didn't make it easy to delete my account, because you actually have to click on a couple of different. You got to go to your settings and then go here and then go here, then go here. Delete. Are you sure you want to delete forever? Yes, I'm sure. Don't speed through it. Pray in between each click, and hopefully by the you'll never get to the point of deleting. All right, but if you do, you know you prayed about it enough to know that you ain't you don't want it to do it anymore. You get what I'm saying? But that would be the best advice I could give y'all, and keep going. But I feel the frustration. I definitely feel y'all on that for sure. All right, and the next question is by Steph as well. What a great question. That's hilarious. All right. If you add more photos to your website and meta tag them with your name, then resubmit your website to the index on Google, the photo will come faster. Yo. Really? See, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I need to definitely try that. So meta tag them with your name and then resubmit your website to index on Google. I got to do that. I got to definitely try that, because I definitely have all the meta tags on my photos on my website. But I definitely, that's great advice, guys. Okay, so for those of you who didn't hear that, that's in regards to getting, you know, your pictures and stuff on your Google, on the Google Knowledge panel. All right. But Steph said basically what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're meta tagging your name, and then you want to resubmit your website indexed on Google. Now, I don't know how to resubmit the website index. So Steph, if you have any pointers on that, or if you know any video, YouTube University will probably show me that, but if you know just right offhand, let me know, because that is very, very good information, guys. All right, so again, to get those photos faster, on your panel, you got to make sure that you get more pictures on your website. Get more pictures on your website, and then resubmit your website to be indexed on Google. All right. So great advice for that. I appreciate that for sure. Chiwa says, so Pro Tools great for vocals. Yeah, Pro Tools is unbeatable when it comes to vocals. Like, there's no comparison. There's literally no comparison what Pro Tools could do. Anushka, thank you for joining in on IG. I see y'all on IG. Thank you for joining in. Cameron, thank you for joining in. I see y'all joining in on IG. I want to make sure I show y'all love over there as well. Appreciate y'all for joining in. Any music industry tip questions you guys may have, you can put it in the comment section on IG. All right, but for a better experience, definitely check me out on YouTube. All right, because if it's something that I got to look up and physically show you on the website, you'll actually be able to see it right here on YouTube rather than IG. But if you want to vibe out on IG, that works well. I see Devonair. I see you, bro. Keep it going. Appreciate that for sure. All right, but any music industry tip questions, just holler at me. Type it in the comment section and I'll answer them for you right here. All right. Chiwa said, you haven't sent me the track yet though, my bro. Send me the track so I can vibe it. No, Chiwas, I'm not going to do it. No, I'll play with you. We still need one more feature. I got a feature for the end, right? I got the middle verse, and I got one more feature that I'm waiting on for the beginning. I promise you, as soon as I get that one, I will send it over to you. But yeah, it has become a monster track. Like, it is incredible. And for everybody else who don't know, it's a song that is going to appear on a project that is coming soon. That's all that I could tell you guys. I can't tell you nothing more. All right, but Steph said great advice for the YouTube deletion. All right, LD40 said, delete YouTube accounts. So what about those artists or labels that change their names for a new start? Ooh, LD40, that is a great question. That's a great question, and it's a difficult question to answer because I think it really does depend on how big of an artist you are. All right, because if you're a big time artist and you change your name, all right, your following is not going to go anywhere. They don't care what you name yourself at that point. They got you for life. Like when he was named Prince and then he changed his name to an artist formerly known as Prince, and then he changed his name to literally a symbol. He didn't lose a single fan, right? So he could literally just hit the reset button. Or when Kanye West changed his name to Ye and he just hit the reset button, and now when you search Ye, that's when his music comes up and all of that stuff. It's much easier when you're that big, right? But when you're small, when you're just growing, right? Changing your name all the time as an artist is not a good thing. Now, of course, you could change your name on YouTube anytime you want. If nobody has it and it's not taken yet, you could change it. On IG, you could change it, no problem. On all of those things, you could change it, no problem. But where it does become a problem is when it comes to your music. Your music on Spotify, your music on Apple Music, your music on all of those things, right? To change your name, you would actually have to make a new profile. You can't just go change your name, your artist name, and it still show up there, which means that you would have to re-upload those songs, which means that you lose all your streaming count. You lose everything. You literally have to start over when it comes to the streaming services. Everything else you could change. Your social media, YouTube, all of that could change. But your actual, so if you got 100,000 streams on Spotify for a song right now, and you decide to change your name, you're losing all of that. You get what I'm saying? Now, got to understand, especially when it comes to Spotify. Spotify is basically the artist stat sheet, right? Like every football player, you go to ESPN.com or NFL.com to see their stat sheet, how much touchdowns, and look at their stats. Spotify is what people look at when they want to see an artist stats, right? If you don't have a certain number of plays on Spotify, certain people won't even talk to you. Certain playlists won't even reach out to you until you have a certain number, right? Imagine having all of that go back to zero because you decided to change your name, right? So that is something that you have to be very, very careful with and know what you're getting yourself into. Like if you really want to do this, you could do it, but you just got to make sure you're also ready for everything that comes after. You get what I'm saying? Now, there are instances when you could keep the old one running and just create a new one, right? You could keep everything like Kanye, going back to him as well. You know, he kept everything that was Kanye West, he kept up. He just created everything from scratch again and made a Ye account, essentially, and started releasing music under his new name, but his old name is still showing up. So you could literally search both now. So that may be an option for you as well. You could definitely do that. But the whole re-releasing thing, you'll lose your whole play count. So that's something that you definitely want to consider when changing artist name. And I personally don't have experience with that, but I know an artist who did have experience with that, because essentially the name that they initially chose as an artist, a whole bunch of other artists had that same name. And because he had to continue to share that name, and sometimes his songs will show up in another artist's profile, he was just like, you know what, I'm just going to make a completely different name. So he made a different name thinking that he could just change everything. As soon as he did it, he lost all his streaming count, everything. You know, I mean, he should have checked with me first, but he didn't. He just did it, and he lost everything. So I know this from personal experience, but this is also something that you guys have to take into account as well. When you're picking your artist name from the very beginning, search your artist name. See if anybody comes up under that artist name. Make sure that that name isn't taken as an artist, because you're also going to have that issue when it comes to the copywriting and trademarking and all of that stuff too. You might as well search that and make sure that nobody else has an artist name out there like that, so that you won't run into that issue anyway, right? Don't just think of a name and just upload the music. Even though you can do that, you can run into some major issues with that. So definitely be careful with that. Don't try to make your name Lil Wayne as if there ain't one out there already. You get what I'm saying? But great question, LD40. Love that question. All right, Steph says Bing has one too. Bing has a knowledge panel? I got to look into that. All right, Chihuahua's laughing. Congratulations. That's so cool about the release. Yes. And Steph says you can rename a YouTube channel without deleting it. Correct. And we mentioned that for sure. All right, Gorman. So for the nerdy hood thing, new producer tag could be WesTheTech and I'm. Hey, that was actually funny. WesTheTech and I'm. Hey, that's great. I love it. I know that's cool. That was actually funny. It's even funnier how you actually typed it, right? WesTheTech and then -9. I love that. That was funny. Yes, the name thing has been bothering me. I'm trying to post more music to outpost the other gourmets. Man, you see? I'm telling you, this is a problem. All right, so with that being, with you saying that, let's take a look real quick, right? Gourmet, right? All right, so let's see. It looks like, well, this is a video game character, right? So now let's put gourmet artist, right? All right, I hope this is you. If this ain't you, then we got a problem. Let's see. All right, it's coming up here. Here we go. Yeah. Okay then. Okay. Hey, you're first up. So we're in a good spot. Buddy. We're in a good spot. At least you're coming up. Now I don't know if there probably are some other artists with it. Maybe they have it spelled differently. You know what I mean? But let's take a look here. Let me just search it on Apple Music. And this is obviously a good test to before picking an artist name, right? Let's see. All right. Actually, look, there's actually none coming up on Apple Music. Not even your. Oh well, you had to come up because you showed up on Google. So let's see. You might be in the safe. You might be in the safe zone. You definitely might be in the safe zone. Now, Gourmet, I'm not sure if you did yet, but I'm just judging it based off of how I see Apple Music right now. Did you, and let me know if you did you actually claim your Apple Music page yet? If not, let me know on the chat. You know what? Even better, since we're running out of time anyway, I'm just going to share this video with you. Make sure that you watch this video, Gourmet, just in case you didn't do it yet. You want to sign up for Apple Music for Artists, right? Because once you sign up for Apple Music for Artists, you will actually be able, and I'll share this link. Boom, boom. Is one of the other guys. Okay, see? The Erratic Earth is one of the other gourmets. Okay, but no gourmets came up. So you said you did, all right? You need to you got to make sure that it's active, because I don't know, you for some reason you're not showing up, right? Because on Apple Music it's supposed to show up. I mean, you're supposed to have a picture and everything. You see like how I have the picture here and everything? Try to log into it. Get your picture up here. That way it could actually show up the way it's supposed to show up, right? And make sure you do that. If you did do that and it's still not showing up, DM me, because it might be some other stuff. DM me about that, because, and I know we were supposed to talk anyway, because you won already when it came to the music business coaching call. So maybe that's something we could talk about when we do have that call, because that's something I want to make sure that you have right, because that'll help yours pierce out more than any of the other people when it comes to people searching you, you know. Or you could just go the copyright route and copyright it and then send a cease and desist to everybody else who didn't. If nobody else copyrighted the name yet, or trademark, I'm sorry, names are trademark. If nobody else trademarked the name yet, if you trademark it right now, you can actually send a cease and desist to everybody else who has it, and they actually have to change their name. It is the reality that we live in a world that you could absolutely do that, right? So just keep that in mind as well, all right? But this has been a great live, guys. I appreciate all the great questions. I appreciate everybody for joining in. All right, everyone for being a part. I had some great questions here. All right, I actually had a question by Flex Speed here. Let me see what he said. How many mixtapes should I put out before I put out my album? That's a tough question. All right, so mixtapes. The hard part about mixtapes is actually releasing mixtapes, because obviously for social media or for Spotify, Apple Music, and things like that, when you release, you either could release an album, an EP, or a single. Now you could call it a mixtape, but it's going to be registered as a album on the streaming services. So there's not like a section for mixtapes, so to speak. So if you want to release it officially, you can, but obviously if you're trying to do like mixtape with other people's beats that are already copywritten and stuff like that, then you're gonna have to go like the Dat Piff route or something like that, because right now streaming services only take official mixtapes. All right, but that's how you now. Do I think that you should release mixtapes before albums? I don't think you really have to do that anymore. I think if you could just create enough wave with a couple of singles, you know, you will put yourself in a good position. I mean, instead of doing the mixtape, just take every song from the mixtape and release it as a single. Spread them out in a course of maybe 2 years, release and promote each one of them as you're releasing them, and then drop the album. That probably will work better than a mixtape, because it takes a lot. It's difficult for people to listen to a whole project, even a mixtape, right off bat. Nowadays, they got to really like you to sit down and listen to a whole album or a whole mixtape. But that's why you have singles. You drop a single, damn, I like that single. Next single, oh, I like that single too. Next single, oh, I like that single too. Then when you drop a project, they're like, I got to listen. I like everything he releases. You get what I'm saying? So that's definitely the route that you want to take with that Flex Speed. All right, for sure. But again, guys, everybody has some amazing questions. All right, now it's time to pick the winner. All right, again, guys, as you guys know, the best question that's asked gets a free gift on me. So I'm going to quickly go through here. I know we had some great questions all across the board today, and I loved it. I love this. I love everyone learning and growing. Don't forget everything that we talked about. Also, you know, you can rewatch this later because it'll be up. But the winner of today's question is, in fact, going to go to a repeat winner. All right. And that is actually going to be, drum roll, please. Brian Wheatley. Brian Wheatley with the question on, when filling out metadata for a song, which line does the publisher use? Does the copyright holder or the writer go on? I think that was a very great question. LD40's question about the Google panel was great as well. But I did a video on that one already. You know what? LD40, holla at me. Brian, you both are the winners. You both are the winners. We got 2 winners. Oh, I feel like Oprah. You win. You win. You both are the winners today. All right. So Brian, we're just gonna add on to the pot of what we already talked about. All right, LD40, hit me up because I definitely love the question about the Google Knowledge Panel. All right, and again, how I typically pick the winner. I pick the winner by whatever question prompts me to want to make a new video. All right, so those questions made me make a note on that. Okay, Google Knowledge Panel. I want to make a up-to-date video on that with more information, the information that Steph gave to us and the other information that I've collected about that. And I also want to make a video about metadata, right? So that's what metadata is a great one. I haven't done a video explaining metadata specifically, which is why I feel like Brian won that. But the Google Knowledge Panel one is something I also need to do a video for. So for this live today, we got 2 winners. But congratulations to y'all both, all right, for winning. Now, for those of you who don't know what you win, if you do ask a question, what you would actually win is my book here, The 13 Steps to Jumpstart Your Music Business. All right. This is the 13 steps that I took to put myself in a position to leave my 9-to-5 job so that I could do music full time. All right. So if you want to be able to do that as well, you definitely should grab this book. All right. Now, there's physical copies and ebook version of it, but the winner will get this book for the ebook version of this book for free. So if you haven't won yet and you're still trying, join in every Tuesday. Keep asking questions. You're going to ask the questions anyway, and maybe your question may be the best question of the day so that you can win this. Now, if you've already won it, which Brian and LD40 has done, then I have alternative prices like one-on-one coaching sessions over the phone or Zoom, all right, for a specific amount of time. I have a whole bunch of other gifts as well, but that's the primary one for those who haven't won already. All right, guys, but thank you all for joining in. I appreciate y'all so much. I loved all the great questions we got today. All right, don't forget to subscribe and all of those things. And again, guys, lastly, remember, membership club. All right, everything about the membership club is here. All right, we have the priority replies to comments, members only exclusive walkthrough, and music business coaching sessions. Just hit the join button here. Take a look at the perks if that's something that you may be interested in. All right, guys, but I appreciate you all for joining in. I love the congratulations to Brian and LD40. I love that. I love this community. You guys are awesome, and I will see everybody next week. Love you guys. Peace.
Out of your brain, facing the avenue, it was something I had to do. Y'all ain't show me no gratitude. Now I'm back with an attitude, even though the devil always trying to steer me from